am Pakistani and you are watching Mr. Pakistani. And today this video I will teach you what is inside this like an out spot. Basically I get this splicer from my friend. He says there are switch faulty switch. So what I then to do, I then short this switch and give it to the back, and then once it's done and then I give it to them. Then I realized why not make a video. So I say why not show you. But I already repaired them. But right now I show out what. It is why it is not easy to fit. There are splicer, switch splicer, also known as auto transformer 1600 watt. This contains control card and transformer, which is known as auto transformer or auto transformer. Is only primary winding, not a secondary winding. There is only primary winding, what as secondary as well as primary both. That's why there is says this is not isolated with mains. If you are plug this thing in, you are single it output. Only single terminal you will get electric shock, because there is not insulation between this device cannot insulate between input and output. So first one was those there when confused, do a transformer one terminal, primary one terminal, also primary one terminal also directly, and then those fuse to the output neutral, because input neutral and output neutral is common together with series with fuse, and output neutral also connected to the meter voltmeter as well as these wire to the output LED. This card, and these there are other wires live wire which goes somewhere there, which comes there, which goes to the transformer. So there are 10 taps, 2 taps for 12 volt auxiliary feedback, which is also isolated with mains, but these 12 volt auxiliary winding contain 12 volt maximum, 12 to minimum 1 volt, which then is a variable voltage according to the feedback level, meaning input voltage is dropped to the volt. For example, the feedback voltage goes, output is those 100 volt feedback volt, and then if input is 200 volt, output goes, and then output is and 220 volt is input. The splicer takes input, match it, and feedback knows AC, which then knows that how much voltage is present there input line to detect, and then change a step between neutral to first step, second step, then third, fourth and 5 to output, because there are one winding, only primary winding, which have 8 taps. One tap is common neutral, one is input phase. Other 5 taps are connected to the output individually according to a voltage level. Which voltage level is this star selected, which this star knows about identify main input voltage by this feedback winding, and then determine them and then control simultaneously one by one. In manual transformers, they do not use this star. It can only use a manual switch which contains 5 auto transformer, and then to the attach a rotary switch, and rotary switch terminal is your output. Which here you can select a rotary switch. It select one of the winding, like 50 turns, 100 turns, 150 turns, 200 turns and 250 turns, like that. Select the output voltage with same winding. So that's why it is not isolated. Now explain more furtherly there. So there is all those there and those, let me all those do the switch to the primary winding, the one terminal of a transformer, neutral to fuse to a transformer, as well as same output load, as well as the meter negative, as well as LED one terminal, meter one terminal, as well as LED one terminal, LED other terminal use, 120 kilo ohm resistor, and these two these voltmeter and LED other terminals connected to these output pin after this star, which is to the output phase, and this star needs 12 volt for separately right there, and it can switch between output to the first tap, second tap, third tap, fourth tap, 5 tap, like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 volt according to the main level. This is what it is. There is one more LED across the main. This time this LED is twice a terrible LED because my MCs are way round due to I made in a video, so that's why my LED is right now terrible. Like there's one LED which is connected to resistors, same 120K. This time my one is terrible because IMCs are long direction. So it's 120K to LED to neutral. So in the main power panel is present or not. Now how this control circuit is what. Now flip the page. It's other way around. This is a mystery component, I don't know. So there's no value in it. First they are rectified by 1 and 4 out 7. I smart it. This I know. Let me mark it. Manu. Channel 4x rectifier which can rectify 12 volt, which feed 12 volt we at a previous paper. If you see there, this 12 volt there's those there rectify smooth is unknown very faster. Then there's 4 voltage divider variable resistors, 4 variable resistors set away. If these these voltage, this is AC to DC and rectifier. This rectifier voltage is vary, but 2 to 12 volt. If 2 volt is vary, input is voltage 2 volt, it can know the input voltage is 50 volt. It's transistor on a transistor by this base resistor is limited turn of a transistor, and which turn on a relay to turn on the one side, one tap, first tap. When it knows once it knows voltage is 4 volt, these two taps are both are turned on. So this can switch normally acts like a normally open, and this acts like a normally closed. So it can shift them voltage flow first to this one, and then do this one, and then do output. Meaning voltage flow, voltage applied in normally closed point. Once voltage is go to below them 50 volt, this transistor sends this transistor base that voltage is 1 volt or 0.5 volt. It sends the voltage and turn on the relay. This can switch this common terminal to the top terminal. So now it's not flow between normal close to the common, it can flow common to the normally open terminal, which case it can turn on the normally open line, the 1 volt another volt winding, and that's knows its output is 100 volt. And similarly, if it's not turned on, it can close and normally close them voltage input normally close to the common, and then these one normally common, which can at downside, which can directly output 100 volt state, which means if this relay is energized, this relay is not energized, then give output. It's that input voltage is 100 volt, and if this is 0 volt, that there's no energized, this relay is energized, that means it's no the input 50 volts. If the voltage is more than 100 150 volt, like 150 volt, more than 100 volt. It's also that normally open this voltage flow to this winding to this normally turn on, and this will open, and which can turn up voltage there, and then the 150 volt here. If this more than voltage is, and if both this is activated, then it can put the common to the top one, which is first relay. Not, I mean, if you count like 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 number of the relay, then turn on normally open point, and which can give a 220 volt side output, which can that the output is that go to be that. With this is basically unvalued. I think there is a 1 kilo ohm to protect over transformer distance basis, and this relay was 5 volts. All the relays, so that's why I use a 5 volt Zener diode to 5 volt Zener diode to protect the over voltage of the relay, because this circuit was vary between 1 to 12 volt, and these can give constant 12 volt to relay, and relay produce EMI or EMF. So it's not still that resistor bad for this metal. 1 and 4.7 diode to toil to clamp in EMF to protect overcurrent, and these circuit is. If you, but this problem is coming, most of the this resistor is weak, or if you are unvaried or in reaction, this is a Lyman resistance, you will go to shop to not here analog variac or manual transformers to connect them, and multimeter also to take them input and output voltage to adjust the boosting circuit. It's act like buck boost circuit. Buck boost circuit, AC buck boost. You can say multi-stage AC buck boost in circuit is also known as a stabilizer or auto transformer. And this is the end with the next video. I should pause.